which is a felony in the state of Florida.
No, I'm merely showing that it's been registered with the DOT.
It has not been. It has not been.
Welcome back to the channel, my friends. KFARR back again. Once again, this is going to be a sovereign citizen that just can't get out of his way. He wants to show the officers everything except what he's actually legally supposed to show the officers. I believe his wife's baptism pictures comes up during this traffic stop for whatever reason. This guy doesn't know his ass from his elbow. He says he registered his car with the Department of Transportation, and then he changes it to another federal agency, neither of which is actually true, and he's an idiot who uses a fake plate. So, sovereign citizen, I do declare. Enjoy the video.
How we doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
How can I help you?
I'm Deputy Gunn with the Sheriff's Office. I'm interested in your license plate. What's going on with that?
Oh, okay. It's part of the DOT.
Okay.
Basically, what I'm doing is I'm a pastor.
Okay.
With a ministry, and so we're doing the whole. We're separating as far as off of the actual corporation in the United States, and so we're kind of separating that way. So it's out of the jurisdiction, but we just travel in peace.
Okay, I'm not familiar. I haven't heard of that before.
Well, a lot haven't, because they don't really train up on it, because you guys just serve the public and as a corporation. But yeah.
Okay.
We're just traveling in peace, so we're not an actual commercial motor vehicle. It's a private entity.
Okay.
So in that place, it's the right to travel. It's not the whole big citizen thing like that. We're actually non-citizens because we're actually a foreign entity, and so that's why we register with the DOT. So we just let them know, okay, we're just traveling in a private vehicle. It's actually not a motor vehicle, but actual private auto.
Okay. Do you have a driver's license on you?
I don't, because we're turning that in, and because we're separating from that corporate tie. So it's not part of that whole theft protection thing that the motor vehicle department stands for. And we're not traveling in commercial.
Okay.
As you guys know, sovereign citizens make KFARR quite angry. So what this sovereign citizen just said was, all of these sovereign citizen things, and then said, but we're not those citizen people. I'm going to use the duck analogy that I always use. If it quacks like a duck, it flies south for the winter like a duck, it's got webbed feet like a duck, congratulations, it's a fucking duck. No matter if it calls itself a kangaroo or not, it's a duck. Sir, you are a sovereign citizen, you're just doing it with extra steps.
Do you have any sort of identification on you?
I don't have my passport. I do have a license that I haven't turned in yet.
Okay.
But I'm not obligated to give that identification, but I work peacefully, so I'm not a rebellion. I know this is new to you. I'm trying to get to work. I'm obeying all the things and stuff like that, but I have to get to work.
I hate to break in so quickly, but as you guys know, I like correcting this shit when it happens or I forget about it. So the sovereign citizen movement, with him saying, oh, I know this is new to you guys. No. It was started in the US in the 1970s. 1971 to present. Started in the 1970s, moved to Canada in the 2000s. Sir, this has been around for, let me do the math here, like 50-something years. This isn't new to anyone. It might be new to you, but it's not new to law enforcement. It's definitely not new to YouTube. You're just really, really, really behind on the times.
Okay.
I'd love to chat with you and get together and inform you some more so you know more about it.
My point and concern is that I can't prove what you're saying. So first of all, like I said, I'm not familiar with what you're referring to.
Sure.
So in order for me to confirm what you're saying, I'd like to have some sort of identity from you.
Maybe a supervisor would understand about it as far as that, because it is under UCC code and such.
Okay.
I hope so.
So yeah, I'll just step in. I can barely hear you with the window just partially open, and in traffic, I can barely hear what's going on.
He's been cooperative so far. We got no issues, but he's not going to identify himself. So
okay.
I'm trying to figure out.
I can verbally say I'm George.
Okay, so there's probably about 1 million Georges, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to know exactly who you are. Just saying your name George doesn't identify who you are. We have to be able to positively identify you as your specific identity. Because going by George, like I said, there's 1 million of Georges, okay? We just need a way to positively ID you as your individual self, okay? Do you have anything with your full name or any kind of documentation?
I do, but I don't want to step in under the jurisdiction of the corporation. I was explaining to him.
Okay.
Because I'm just acting as a free human. I'm traveling, going to work, doing that.
So we understand that. So you're in the state of Florida, correct? Right now, we're in the state of Florida, inside the continental U.S.? Okay, you agree with that. So in the state of Florida and the continental U.S., to operate a motor vehicle on public roadway, you have to have a valid driver's license. During traffic stop, you have to identify yourself to law enforcement. Okay.
Yep. And my only statement is that I'm not actually operating a motor vehicle.
So
I'm driving a private auto.
It is a motor vehicle. It is a vehicle with 4 wheels and a motor, and it is propelled on the roadway by not your feet. Well, it is a motorized vehicle. Okay.
But by definition, in the UCC codes, even it's a private automobile.
Okay, it's not. Okay, you're going by stuff that is written 100 years ago and has changed and updated since the time what you're trying to quote us by. Okay,
no, it really isn't. Okay, it's a UCC code. This is what they're going.
So who's carting?
No, the tag's not legit. It's a paper tag that's not for hire, not. For
no,
hire.
it's not for hire. It's a private automobile, and it's registered with the DOT. Yeah. It's registered with the DOT.
Okay. Well, he's going to run the bin. We're going to try and figure out what's going on.
Explain it to you. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I've never seen that tag before, and you're not identifying yourself so that I can prove.
Hey, let's just print it on a piece of paper.
Just throwing it out here, this is going to fall under the 2025 Florida Statutes 320.02 registration required. And it just says that every person who's driving in the state, every owner or person in charge of a motor vehicle that is operated or driven on all roads of this state shall register the vehicle in this state. The Florida statutes are pretty clear. I'm actually glad that they're one of the more clear statutes, but yes, you need to have a valid plate. You can't just, again, print one on a piece of paper, get your kindergarten glue stick, after you get done chewing on it, put it on your plate, and then stick it on there. That's not going to fly.
What's that one? I'm sorry.
If I give you my name, what's that going to prove to you?
That you have a valid driver's license, first of all, and that you're operating under this US code that you're referring to.
Yeah, the US code.
Well, I understand that I understand what you're saying, but I'm not familiar with it, and you saying that essentially that's my job. I get that, but I don't know the code. So if you could provide that so that I can prove that, because right now the public operates under. You have to have a valid license.
Perhaps the supervisor knows the UCC codes. I don't know the numbers offhand, but I'm just trying to.
Okay, like I said, that's why I just asked if you had an ID, so we can actually figure out who you are. If you can ID yourself to us, then no. If you are currently detained on a traffic stop, ID yourself. You can get out of here a lot quicker. The longer you prolong this, the longer you're going to sit here, the longer you're going to be late for work. Okay.
Well,
so that's all we need is we need to be able to identify who you are. Okay. Do you have a picture of an ID or anything?
There's me baptizing my wife.
Okay, that's not an ID. You may wrap him?
No, I got him.
You got him?
It's George. He just the registration's expired on this. He has a valid driver's license, but he's refusing to identify himself.
Yeah, because when it expired, I've learned about the private automobile.
Writing this ticket for expired license registration will be done.
I'm doing the whole trust thing, and so we're just trying to transfer it into that and be peaceful. I stop and pray for you. I probably prayed for you somewhere down the line. I pray for protection for everybody. We help people. I go, I know it's different because you're traffic, but I'm not committing any crime against my
you are. You're creating a motor violation. It is a motor violation. A crime. We have crimes. I can arrest people for criminal citations as far as traffic violations. There are criminal citations. Okay.
I have not committed a crime against my fellow man.
Okay, we're not saying you committed a crime against your fellow man. Okay, a crime against a fellow man is going to be theft, rape, murder, stuff like that. We are traffic enforcement, so we enforce traffic laws.
Right, and when
you are violating a current traffic law.
If you ask your supervisor,
you are violating a current traffic law.
If you ask,
that's fine.
I've read the legal definition way too many times. So for today's video, take it away, BSBT bot.
Thanks, best buddy KFARR. Crime. The crime is a behavior that is punishable by the public offense. The elements of a crime generally come from statutes, but may also be supplied by the common law in states, where the criminal common law still carries forth. Crime is behavior, either by act or omission, defined by statutory or common law as deserving of punishment or penalty. Although most crimes require the element of intent, certain minor crimes may be committed based on strict liability, even if the defendant had no specific mindset with regard to the criminal action. For instance, parking violations are crimes that usually do not require prosecutors to establish intent. Some crimes are considered mala prohibita, bad because prohibited. These are prohibited by statute but are not inherently evil. Other crimes are considered mala in se, bad in themselves. These are considered inherently evil under general community standards. The idea of mala in se formed the original justification for common law crimes. However, many crimes that are today prohibited by statute also belong in the category of mala in fe.
So Giovanni Richard gave him a warning in September for expired tag. His tag expired in May.
So it's time for a ticket today.
And so if you want to get a ticket, then you can get a ticket.
He said he's no crime against his fellow man. I was like, well, no, this is a crime against traffic violations because you're violating.
It's a violation, but that's if I'm operating a motor vehicle commercially.
Let's have a discussion because now I'm curious.
Yeah.
You hold a valid driver's license.
Yes, and I'm turning that in right now with the plate.
Yes.
So that's what I'm in the process of doing, is to severing that and to do that.
Okay, but all this charade of...
Well, it's not really, because what I'm doing is, as a human being, I'm deciding, okay, I'm just going to operate privately. I'm not going to hurt anybody. I know those are stuff license.
But here's the thing. If I give you a ticket, first of all, you're still refusing to identify yourself. I found your identity, even though that's not... Right, but I'm saying you're by law required to identify yourself. You can be arrested for that. Let me just go through what's going on here, okay?
I mean, I've got it. I told you I've got it with me.
Then why wouldn't you provide it?
That's why I'm concerned.
No, I was just because I wanted to explain it to him as the whole freedom thing. Because what happens is
okay. So you're saying I'm going to pause you for a second. You're saying you said you're trying to operate freely. This, that, blah, blah. Why are you carrying a valid driver's license?
Because I haven't finished the whole process yet. I'm learning about it and I'm transferring it. It's like
okay. So you're new to the whole system, so you really don't have 100% idea what you're trying to explain.
No, actually, I've been studying for a while now.
So you're carrying a valid driver's license, so that means that you have agreed at some point in your life that you're going to follow Florida law.
Unknowingly, because I didn't realize.
Okay. Well, so that's where we're at.
You're
But I'm not. But
years old though.
I'm not acting commercially right now.
Well, nobody said you're acting commercially.
But that's what. If you look at it, your whole traffic code, it's all commercial.
No, it's not.
It's the uniform commercial code.
Okay, it's not. Okay.
The United
Have
States
insurance for the vehicle?
I'm sorry.
You have insurance for the vehicle?
Yeah, it's super progressive.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I could call them and get a thing again because again,
You don't carry that with
I
you?
was sending that all in. No.
So here's my concern here. Okay. So we still have not resolved the situation where you were warned last September for your expired tag. It's still expired. You've now put a fraudulent paper license plate on.
Well, no, it really isn't.
It is fraudulent. It doesn't populate into any database. That means it is fraudulent.
No, it just means it's not registered commercially.
No, it means it is fraudulent. And if it does not populate to your motor vehicle or a motor vehicle, it is a fraudulent plate, which is a felony in the state of Florida.
No, I'm merely showing that it's been registered with a DOT.
It has not been. It has not been. Our system is connected straight to them, okay?
You have a different license plate attached to this vehicle.
the FMST.
Okay, yeah. So now you keep changing because earlier you're saying FDOT. FDOT is Florida Department. We're connected straight to the system.
Who's the supervisor to call in this?
Alacron.
I'm not hurting anybody. I'm just traveling and I'm trying to.
Because my concern is he's already been stopped for this once.
Well,
and now he's put in front.
And since
you can hit him for the felony.
And
be done with it.
That's why I'm actually started the process. Because since then I'm like, okay, I shouldn't re-register it. I need to go through this process. So that's what it is. I'm in the process of.
He was over on 41. You want to see if he can kick over here?
Yeah. Because I don't think that. So I don't think a ticket is going to resolve this matter. You know what I mean? Like his tag's still expired.
We got him. We got him, guys. This is what we've been talking about for 5 years. Well, I've been doing this for 5 years, so I've been talking about it for 5 years. We've all been saying when you have a sovereign citizen at a traffic stop and they say anything sovereign citizen related, right then you know that a ticket is not going to be the deterrent that it is for everyone else. If I got a ticket for no plate, you know what I would do? I would go out and get a plate. I would go out and register my car. Because that makes sense. If I had a broken taillight, which is normally a fix-it ticket, guess what I would do? Fix it. But this guy got the ticket and went, I'm going to dig further into this rabbit hole and fuck up my life. So now he's sitting on 2 tickets for the exact same thing. So clearly tickets aren't working. You need to be as harsh within the law as you can, which in this case, arrest them. Call it a day and arrest them. Because like BSPT, he will ride off into the sunset with a ticket, with a warrant, 2 jurisdictions over, and it'll never be dealt with because nobody wants to go pick him up on a warrant. You deal with it in the moment as hard as legally possible. That's the only way that this stops.
It's not a rebellious. I'm not rebellious. Spirit, like I said.
What happens if you? Let's give this example. While he's making a phone call, what happens if you hit somebody out here in the roadway? What's the process then?
Well, I still purchase some insurance to help offset that, but then we actually have a bond. Everybody has a bond tied to their Social Security, and so you can actually access that and set up a bond to then take care of anything. So anything that I'm liable for, if I've committed any damage to anybody, then I become liable for it and take care of it. And so I either do it through my own personal or do it through the bond that's attached.
Kilo Sergeant's on his way. We're still 10-4, thank you.
Do you have anything that I can Google or any paperwork for me that I can look at?
Hey, you know the best thing? He just taped this to the valid license plate for the Florida.
That's what I was asking him. When did this charade just randomly?
When he got his last citation.
He didn't get a ticket actually, so that's the concern. Is
It's just the warning.
Give it
Yeah, it was warning, and that's when I started to research more about it because I'd heard stuff about it. And actually, I researched it before.
Okay, that's what I'm asking for. Let's see what you can provide for us.
Let's go.
Because the problem is we're not going to come to a resolution if we give him a ticket and he drives off. He still can't drive off because he doesn't have a valid registration for the vehicle.
But no, because then you're detained, then you're kidnapped.
No, it's not kidnapping.
Because I'm a private individual and I'm not falling under the jurisdiction.
I'm asking him to provide that. So right now I'm just having a conversation with him while you look for that, okay?
Yeah.
Because as far as we're concerned, the law is that you cannot, number one, have a tinted license plate cover over your license plate. And then two, once I get you stopped and I can verify the license plate, I can't verify it. So you have 2 violations for the traffic stop, okay?
I had to restart this clip because I forgot what it was called, but what is it we all go through? Driver's ed when we're like 14, 15, 16, whatever age you go through it. That teaches you how to drive, that you need a license, that you need to register your car, that you need a plate, you need insurance. But sovereign citizens just go, nah, fuck it. The guy that lives in the woods with 12 convictions for this and 3 warrants and is literally hiding in the woods from law enforcement, nah, he clearly knows the law better than everybody else. What logic does that make? What logic does it make that, yeah, that guy in the woods that lives on a shitty, like, recliner, that's the guy I'm going to give my money to buy a fake plate and buy bogus traveling paperwork? What logic does that make?
So I'm going to be very kind of sarcastic. So you live in Kings Point, which is a gated neighborhood, correct?
I actually don't live in Kings Point.
Okay, why do you have Kings Point?
Because I do stuff. I go and people all the time, help elderly.
Okay, so then I need to go to Kings Point and let them know that you're not welcome in there because you have to be able to ID yourself when you go into Kings Point. Do you provide ID to the security guards at Kings Point?
No, somebody always calls me in and they say,
Okay, but you still have to ID yourself when you enter these gated
I
neighborhoods.
say, yes, I'm Pastor George. Anybody can travel. It's honestly, again, it's a free, like you as a flesh and blood, you should be able to travel and walk and ride anywhere you want privately.
Okay.
You shouldn't be inhibited. If you're inhibited, then you're a slave.
Okay.
And you're not free to do those things.
So what point in your life did you decide to convert to this belief?
Well, it's not converting to a belief. It's just I've learned about it. I've been since 2001. I've been, saved and born again. So I actually serve God. I serve people. I serve the elderly. I pray for folks.
Okay.
I do no harm to my
being
fellow.
saved and praying and all that stuff, that is a religious belief. That is not a freedom on the roadway.
I've extended that so that I've learned about the actual UCC codes.
Okay.
Enough to see that, wait a second, we are privately and we can operate privately ourselves. We can walk and do those
You
things.
can walk wherever you want. A motor vehicle is a right and privilege. It is not your freedom.
If you do, well, it actually is. If you're
not
under the corporation.
No, so the motor vehicle traveling on public roadways is not a freedom. It is a right. It is something that is allowed and provided to you as long as you follow the laws and the guidelines that are provided.
What you just said is actually perfect. You're absolutely right. It is a right once you're a part of the corporation.
It is a right. So it is a right. So if you follow the rules and guidelines that give you the right to operate your motor vehicle, then yeah, you can operate a motor vehicle on a roadway. Part of that is involved in the state of Florida specifically is 1, you have to have a valid driver's license. 2, you have to have registration for a vehicle. And 3, you have to have insurance for that vehicle. So far, you do not have registration for this vehicle. You have not provided insurance for the vehicle. And you will not provide your ID. You made us take a long way around to figure out who you actually are. Okay? So
I told you honestly who I was.
you told us your name was George, and I told you there's probably 1 million Georges in the state of Florida. That does not ID you. That is not your physical,
like I said,
personal ID.
Everything you just said is absolutely true if you're under the corporation of the United States.
Do you live in the United States?
What I'm choosing.
Are you residing in the United States?
No, I'm not residing there.
Okay. Are you traveling in the United
I
States?
reside here in the spirit.
Okay. Are you traveling in the United States?
I'm not traveling. By
You just told us you were traveling.
Not of the UCC code.
You just told us you were traveling.
I'm actually.
Can you decide if you're traveling or not
I'm
traveling?
not commercially traveling.
You are traveling.
I'm moving my body.
Okay. Are you walking on 2 feet or are you driving a motor
Doesn't
vehicle?
matter. I'm moving.
You're operating a motor vehicle, correct?
No.
Okay,
that is
yes.
not correct. I'm
This
not
this is
operating
a motor
on-
vehicle.
By definition, go to UCC code.
Okay, well, we're not UCC. This is Florida. We follow
8.0.
Florida code, okay?
Well, Florida
States,
is under the
no,
under
states.
commercial code.
So, okay.
So this is the point when normal sovereign citizens tap out because they don't have any trump card for the 10th Amendment. They pretend the 10th Amendment was abolished like the 18th Amendment. First off, this has alcohol in it. Whoever came up with the 18th Amendment, I dislike you, like to a cellular level. But I digress. They pretend like the 10th Amendment was abolished. If you ever hear some of them talk about it, they will go from 9 straight to 11. Like the 10th doesn't exist. But the officer is right. The Florida code says this car is a motor vehicle. Therefore, you need to have a driver's license to drive a motor vehicle. And he's just trying to say it's a toaster on wheels or his house yacht that he, pilots on the roadway. Sir, if you want to operate in the private, do that shit on your own private property. Once you come into the public, shit changes.
You're in the state of Florida. So the state of Florida requires you to have that stuff, and you don't want to provide that stuff.
As a person identified as a commercial unit of the corporation, but I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I'm now trying to say, okay, I'm functioning as a flesh and blood
So
human.
I'm just going to give you a tidbit of information. Okay, you can take it however you want. So that piece of paper that you have that has a private property number on there, that is what we call it. The state of Florida considers that a fraudulent tag or counterfeit tag, which is a felony in the state of Florida and is an arrestable offense. Okay, because it is not proper registration. It is a falsified document to say you have the registration for a vehicle. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not saying
And then having multiple copies of it is the felony alone, okay? So in the state of Florida, having a piece of paper with random numbers printed on it that do not register back to a vehicle is classified as a felony, okay?
He's at 19th in the interstate.
So his body is traveling.
I called Hess just to let him know. He said 10:15.
Yeah.
I figured we just wait for the sergeant. Because like I said, my concern is if you give him a ticket, he's just going to drive from here.
He's going to drive from here. He's not going to pay the ticket. Then he's going to get stopped again.
Did he show you proof of insurance?
He won't show me nothing. He still can't find his UCC code. So.
The stuff,
He's going to provide that?
yeah, the stuff,
He doesn't have it.
the stuff that I googled is literally for commercial,
It's for
commercials, businesses.
Right, and then if you look up the definition of commercial,
This is not a commercial vehicle. This is a personal vehicle. It is owned underneath you and you alone. It's not underneath a corporation or a company.
well, actually,
Yeah,
when you do the registration,
this-
you're handing that ownership.
it's a passenger vehicle. Literally, this car is classified as a passenger vehicle. It is not a commercial vehicle, okay? All right, George, we do us a favor. Will you step out and have a chit chat?
Can't I discuss right here?
No, we're going to get out of the car, okay, George?
Vehicle?
Okay, come on.
No, you're not supposed to detain me. This is
Come on, George. Don't make it,
Step out.
you don't have to make it harder than it is. Let's just come on out, okay?
Wait, you're not supposed to detain me. My guru said you couldn't detain me. George, your guru lied. Your guru lied to milk a few dollars out of you because you're dumb enough to believe this. Whatever your guru told you, you can't detain me. Yeah, they can detain you. You're under arrest. You hiding behind a locked door isn't going to save you. Like, I hate to be the one to shake you into reality, George, but here we are.
Okay, George, out of
Okay,
the car.
stop reaching for things, okay?
Phone's going right here on the roof. Phone is going on the roof. Okay, do me a favor. Face the vehicle.
Face the vehicle.
For what?
Face the
Face the
vehicle.
I'm cool.
Hands behind your back.
Wait a minute,
No,
why?
hands behind your back.
This is detainment.
It absolutely is detainment, okay?
Why?
We'll explain everything here in just a minute. Once we get you trapped and get you searched, we'll explain everything for you, okay?
I've prayed with you before. I'm just a pastor trying to learn the new UCC codes.
Okay. You have any weapons on you?
No.
Any drugs?
No.
Okay, we'll check this out. Well, looks like you're all good to go. No weapons.
No.
So we've already explained the reason for the stop. Okay. So we don't have to explain that again. Now you're being detained for refusing to identify yourself. Okay, that's a
I
misdemeanor.
just showed him right there.
Okay. Well,
I
we
gave
asked
you-
you several times. You did not give it to him.
I
Okay.
showed the ID right there. I
I
showed
also
him.
asked you for registration and insurance. And did not provide that ID. Now you've committed a felony, like my partner explained to you, by putting a fake license plate on your vehicle.
It's not fake.
It is. Yes. And I asked you to provide me some sort of information that says that you abide by this code, which you did not do that. When I Google it and look up some information,
UCC codes.
yes, that
And the definition of motor
applies
vehicle?
to commercial
Yeah, this
vehicles
is a
and
commercial.
businesses. This is a passenger vehicle. It's not a commercial vehicle. Okay.
Right. This is a
not
private vehicle. When I
which
did
you're
the
operating on a public roadway. Okay. Does that make sense?
But everybody is free to travel as a human
You
being, you
jumped
know?
off for KJ. I just hollered. I think
Okay.
kilo 41 or something like that. Okay.
So if you want to relax, you can lean up against
You
the
can turn
car.
around and lean against your car, okay?
We've already explained this to you multiple times. Okay, so the decisions I made, you're going to be going to jail for refusing to identify yourself. I did identify you through your.
It's
Let me
right
explain.
there.
But listen, you did not identify yourself at first. Okay, you've also been warned for your registration that's been expired. So if I give you a ticket today, I know that you're not going to get your registration fixed because you're already telling us that you don't operate under that law, if you will, because you don't believe that you need to operate under that.
It's
okay?
private. I'm trying to go through that process. That's all. I mean,
Whatever
I can
process
put
you're
the
referring to.
paperwork together. I said, give me the ticket.
It's not a valid
I'll put it together
process.
and take it to the judge.
It
I'll
is not
do
a
that.
valid process that is recognized in the state of Florida underneath transportation, okay?
George, you're missing the freaking point, bud. Does this Popeye's parking lot look like a courtroom to you? Because it doesn't look like a courtroom to me. So you're fighting in the wrong venue. If you do indeed, I'm going to get the paperwork together and I'm going to show you guys. Do that in court with the judge, not in the Popeye's parking lot. Like, it's the wrong venue, my guy. I think you're wrong. The cops think you're wrong. The law says you're wrong. And I've shown like hundreds of sovereign citizens getting arrested and convicted for this very thing. So it seems like you're really wrong and you're just fighting an uphill battle against stupidity.
That's
Well,
because
that wasn't what I was
it's
like-
private.
Yeah, as I explained to you though, your piece of paper that is on your vehicle, it is a fraudulent or fake tag. In the state of Florida, it is a felony, okay? It is a felony to produce a piece of paper to falsely identify a car. That number is, when we run the numbers on your vehicle right now, it is not populating in any system, okay? That means that it is not an accurate number.
Federal Motor Safety, it doesn't pop in there.
No,
There's a trust.
because it's not a valid system, okay? It's not, okay?
But who have I harmed?
As I explained to you, you're not. Stay over this way. As I explained to you, there's cameras recording you all the way around.
But who's my
As I
damage
explained to
part?
you, you keep saying there's not a crime against a person.
As a private individual.
I told you, you're not committing a crime against an individual. You're violating traffic violations, okay? Traffic violations, because you're driving operating a motor vehicle on a public roadway in the state of Florida. My job and that gentleman's job's over there. Our main job is traffic enforcement. We follow the rules set by Florida. We enforce the rules set by Florida, okay?
They don't fall under the Uniform Commercial Code.
So I'm not going to answer because he's saying everything right. If he says something wrong, I'll answer. So far, he's doing everything perfect.
No, and I know that's true. I'm just asking. Why we have to
Uniform
be this.
Commercial Code.
He knows his stuff, so I'm not going to answer for him. He's doing a good job.
It's commercial equipment, okay?
Right.
You're classifying it, but you told me this is your personal car for you to transport yourself, okay?
I'm just
so it is
privately.
it is a privately owned vehicle for
Well,
transportation.
when you do the
It's
registration,
classified as a passenger vehicle or passenger car, correct? Is it?
I'm sorry.
Isn't it?
Say again?
It's a passenger vehicle or passenger car is what we're going to classify it as.
It's a private automobile.
Okay.
All right, folks, this is where we're going to end the video. There's still a few, minutes left. I'll leave the link to the original video. It's from Body Cam Watch. It came out a few days ago, but in the meantime, he was charged with resisting without violence and possession of counterfeit plates. He says at the end, the part that I cut out, "Oh, you came to the stop. Me and the officer were having a good conversation. You came and everything just went to 100 and got really quick." And my guy, this is a 21 minute video before I got a hold of it. That is one of the slowest burning sovereign citizen videos I've ever shown. The officer didn't break your window, didn't tase you, didn't, as you were rolling the window up, pepper spray inside to trap you with the spicy air. This was one of the most tame police encounters with a sovereign citizen that I've ever shown. So for him to get all butthurt and be like, "Oh, you came and escalated the situation." My guy, possession of a counterfeit plate is a felony. At that point, it turned into a felony traffic stop, and it still took them 30 minutes to arrest you. So I don't want to say know your place, but smarten up, George. That's it. I'll leave the link in the description, like I said. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Peace.